Entrance songs are an important part of any wrestler's gimmick. Here are 15 themes you didn't know were performed by the athletes themselves. While you kick back and enjoy these entrance tunes, we'll give you a quiz question to ponder. But don't touch that dial until the end of the video, when we'll supply the answer. You want to rock out to even more wrestling videos? Then hit the subscribe button right now for tons of additional content from the Sportsters YouTube channel. Enzo Amore, soft is a sin. We don't know if you've heard, but Enzo Amore is a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. You can't teach rapping ability either, but that didn't stop Enzo from performing on his own and Big Cass's entrance theme, Soft is a Sin. Okay, maybe Enzo's not that bad, since he actually has a pretty good voice, and he was once a DJ with the New York Jets. Although the entrance song features Enzo on vocals, it really belongs to the songwriter and producing duo CFOS, who also composed music for wrestlers like Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Sheamus, among numerous others. Soft is a Sin has been the official theme for the tag team of Enzo and Cass since their days with NXT back in 2014, but many people never hear more than the first few beats of the song before Enzo starts talking. Jeff Hardy, various. Man, Jeff Hardy sure has used a lot of entrance songs throughout his 24 years of wrestling professionally, with both WWE, TNA, and also Ring of Honor and various independent promotions. But we guess that's to be expected considering the fact that Hardy is also a musician. He is a vocalist and a self-taught guitar player and drummer, and he formed a hard rock band in 2003 with fellow wrestler Shannon Moore and members of the bands Burnside 6 and Fueled by Science. The band has recorded a number of songs that Hardy has used on his way to the ring, including Modest, Similar Creatures, Reptilian, Placate, and Obsolete. He also collaborated with other guitarist Dale Oliver on a number of additional themes. Although Hardy's personal life has been a roller coaster ride, he has found plenty of success in the ring with 25 total championships, which include 10 tag team titles with his brother Matt. Jillian Hall, Sliced Bread. If you've never heard Jillian Hall's theme song, consider yourself very lucky. After all, as you may remember, part of Jillian's gimmick was that she was a wannabe singer who couldn't hold a tune to save her life, or her wrestling career for that matter. Hall was essentially the William Hung of the WWE, and she even released a 2007 Christmas album, A Jingle with Jillian, chock full of cringeworthy tracks, which are best suited for torturing prisoners during interrogations. Then in 2008, she dropped the single Sliced Bread onto the world, and the world collectively vomited. Her shrill singing voice made for one of the worst theme songs we've ever heard, and thankfully her contract wasn't renewed in 2010, and fans across the globe were spared from ever having to hear that tune again. Of course, all this was intentional, so I guess all we can say is mission accomplished? John Cena, The Time Is Now. John Cena's entrance theme is well known for being involved in a number of hilarious, unexpected John Cena memes, but as most of those clips are only a few seconds long, many people don't get to the actual lyrics. If they did, they'd hear John Cena himself rapping the words to The Time Is Now alongside his cousin Mark Perdeka, also known as the Trademark. But Cena doesn't just have a single song. He released an entire album in May 2005 entitled You Can't See Me, which included a whopping 17 tracks. The WWE Music Group and Columbia Records released and sold 40,000 copies in its first week, debuted at number 15 on the Billboard 200 charts, and has since reached platinum status. The self-proclaimed Doctor of Thugonomics also rapped on his previous entrance song, Basic Thugonomics, which served as Cena's theme for 2 years before being replaced by The Time Is Now. Junkyard Dog, Grab Them Cakes. Although he famously used Jim Croc's Bad Bad Leroy Brown and Queen's Another One Bites the Dust as his entrance themes, Junkyard Dog also recorded his own song called Grab Them Cakes with Vicky Sue Robinson in the mid-1980s. Yes, the same Vicky Sue Robinson behind the 1976 disco smash hit Turn the Beat Around, which was famously covered by Gloria Estefan in 1994. Grab Them Cakes was originally released on WWE's The Wrestling album and became somewhat of a hit before being used as an entrance song. Junkyard Dog and Robinson actually performed it on Dick Clark's American Bandstand, and their backing band included guitar legend Rick Derringer, Vanilla Fudge, drummer Carmine Appice, and a pseudonym-touting and disguised Cyndi Lauper on bass. Although the song didn't help Junkyard Dog win any titles during his time with WWE, he received a Slammy Award in 1986 for being the best single performer, and earned a Hall of Fame induction in 2004, 6 years after he tragically died in a car accident. Koko B. Ware, Pile Driver. Koko B. Ware is an interesting specimen. He competed in the first match of the first ever episode of Monday Night Raw. He had an 8-year WWE tenure, and he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2009. Despite never once winning a championship with the promotion, still, Koko's WWE run came during wrestling's golden era, so he received plenty of attention throughout his career. In fact, when WWE released an album in 1987, the ever-smiling, brightly dressed Birdman was tasked with singing the record's title track, Pile Driver. The song was a hit, It spawned a music video that featured legends like Hulk Hogan, the Honky Tonk Man, and even Vince McMahon himself. And it later became Coco's entrance song. As was often the case at the time, Pile Driver was penned by Jimmy Hart. Coincidentally, Coco Beware was actually the first wrestler to ever be on the receiving end of The Undertaker's now infamous Tombstone Pile Driver. Michael Hayes, BADSTREET USA. Let's be real for a second. If we had to pick the best entrance theme in wrestling history, BADSTREET USA would definitely be near the top of our list. It's heavy, raw, and features just the right amount of 80s camp, plus a killer guitar solo. In fact, if you played the song for someone who didn't know it was written, composed, and performed by the fabulous Freebirds wrestler Michael Hayes, you could probably convince them it was a legitimate radio hit back in 1983, which is more than we can say for most original wrestling entrance songs, especially ones with wrestlers providing the vocals. It even spawned an 11-track record called Off the Streets by Michael Hayes and the BADSTREET Band. BADSTREET USA also had a pretty good music video to accompany it, which included appearances by fellow fabulous Freebird members Buddy Roberts, Jimmy Garvin, and Terry Gordy. NAOMI, amazing. NAOMI has only been on the main WWE roster for 5 years, but she's already gone through numerous entrance songs. She hit on a good one in April 2015 with Amazing, a song by CFOS that featured NAOMI herself on vocals. That tune was released just after she made a heel turn and was exactly what she needed after failing to find success as a member of the Funkadactyls and as the manager of Jimmy and Jay Uso. The song was later remixed in 2016, changing it from a straight rap number to a more upbeat club track. Along with the remix, NAOMI also debuted a new look, both of which almost instantly propelled her to fan favorite status. Less than 6 months later, NAOMI defeated Alexa Bliss at the Elimination Chamber 2017 to win her first WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. Although she was forced to vacate the belt after an injury 9 days later, NAOMI eventually won it back at WrestleMania 33 earlier this year. We interrupt the music for the very special quiz bulletin. What is the name of the only entrance theme used by Vince McMahon? We will now return to your regularly scheduled programming, but be sure to stay tuned until the end for the answer. Rey Mysterio, BOOYAKA, 619. High-flying wrestler legend Rey Mysterio used numerous songs throughout the first decade of his professional career with ECW, WCW, and WWE, but he didn't find a true hit until he recorded one himself, along with rapper Mad One in 2005. The result, BOOYAKA in 619, a powerful reggaeton song that perfectly captured the flashy and aggressive Mexican style of wrestling that made Mysterio famous. Still, the song was missing something. A year later, nu metal rockers POD stepped in to re-record the song with a harder sound, and Mysterio has used this version ever since. It makes sense that POD would be the ones to perform the song perfectly, as the group hails from Mysterio's hometown of San Diego, hence the 619 area code in the name. POD debuted the new version of the song while playing live at WrestleMania 22, just before Mysterio's World Heavyweight Championship win. R-Truth, Various. When R-Truth was a young kid growing up in Atlanta, he dreamt of forging a career as a rapper and musician. And with a birth name like Ron Killings, who can blame him? However, Killings had to fund his career with money he made selling drugs, which eventually got him locked up for 13 months. After his release, Killings attempted to jumpstart his music career once again, but ended up pursuing wrestling instead at the insistence of Jackie Crockett of the National Wrestling Alliance. When it eventually came time to pick an entrance song, R-Truth wouldn't trust just anyone with his theme, so he recorded it himself. To date, R-Truth has utilized about 10 different entrance songs in various promotions, and more than half of them feature him on vocals. His latest was a remix of What's Up, a song of his he has used to both TNA and WWE, and altered when he formed a tag team with Goldust in 2016. That same year, R-Truth released an album called Killin' It. Shawn Michaels, Sexy Boy. When Shawn Michaels ditched his rocker persona and became the Heartbreak Kid in 1992, he needed a song to fit his new character's vain, cocky attitude, and thus, Sexy Boy was born. The theme was written by the Mouth of the South himself, Jimmy Hart, and was performed by sensational Sherry. However, when Sherry departed as Michaels' manager, the song was re-recorded at the request of Vince McMahon, with Shawn on lead vocals and Hart chiming in with the high-pitched background vocals. Seriously, that's him. Give it a listen and hear for yourself. Although Jimmy has asked the wrestler numerous times over the years if he wants to ditch the 80s style rock tune in favor of something more current, HBK had opted to keep it each time. The only exception have been when Michaels used Break It Down with D-Generation X, and when he added an extended gospel-like intro for WrestleMania 25. Ted DiBiase, It's All About the Money. After a brief stint with WWE in 1979, Ted DiBiase returned to the promotion in 1986 with a brand new gimmick, the $1 Million Man. This consisted of him flaunting his supposed wealth by making his valet Virgil and members of the audience perform humiliating tasks gimmicks for money, as well as showing off in various vignettes during matches and even in real life in order to make the character more believable. Of course, he'd need an entrance song to fit this new persona, so he, Jimmy Hart, and John J. McGuire came up with a tune that fittingly called It's All About the Money. At its core, the theme was a straightforward hard rock song, but it also featured DiBiase talking over the music and saying statements like, "I am the $1 million man and you will be bought," while he laughs maniacally. It was evil, it was boastful, and it fit DiBiase like a glove. The Fabulous Rougeau Brothers, All-American Boys. The tag team known as the Fabulous Rougeau only had a brief 4-year tenure in the WWE, but boy, was it entertaining. The real-life brothers from Montreal initially debuted as faces, but eventually made a heel turn in 1988, while other heels generated heat by double-crossing their fellow wrestlers or explicitly berating audiences. The Rougeaus did it by pretending to be American while waving comically small flags, attempting to start USA chants, and claiming to enjoy a clean-cut lifestyle and the music of Barry Manilow. In fact, all of this was incorporated into their 1980s rock entrance theme, aptly titled All-American Boys. We know, all of this sounds pretty tame by today's standards, but remember, patriotism was a hot topic back in the 80s, and Americans were easily excitable and offended when it came to their country and foreigners. Actually, on second thought, that's pretty much where we are right now. The Honky Tonk Man. Honky Tonk Man. To be honest, we'd be upset if Wayne Ferris, aka the Honky Tonk Man, didn't sing his own entrance theme. I mean, come on, the guy's whole gimmick was that of a guitar-strumming Elvis impersonator, complete with a slick-backed hair, long sideburns, and flashy jumpsuits. Ferris initially used WWE composer Jim Johnson's song "That's Alright, Honky Tonk Mama" during his first year with the promotion back in 1986. But within a year, it was replaced by Honky Tonk Man, a classic-sounding rock and roll number which would serve as the wrestler's official song for the remainder of his career. Although he held the Intercontinental Championship for a record 64 weeks, the Honky Tonk Man is not in the Hall of Fame. He was offered a spot in the esteemed hall in 2010, but turned the WWE down due to a scheduling conflict. The promotion never attempted to reschedule. And number 1, Tyler Breeze. #gorgeous. Things haven't always been easy breezy for Tyler Breeze. He made his debut in 2012 as an enhancement talent named Mike Dalton, but was soon told he needed a new gimmick to stick around with the big leagues. Thus began the reign of Tyler Breeze, a self-obsessed narcissist selfie taker who didn't really have a reign at all, and still hovers around jobber status. Still, in order to sell his character, Breeze recorded his own song called #gorgeous with the help of the CFOs. This self-serving techno tune, in an ode to himself, has served as his theme since 2014. Although Breeze has been using the song Breezango for the last year while part of the tag team with Fandango. The duo probably need a new song for their recent face turn, however, as they have thus far found the same lack of success together as they did while competing solo. For the last 18 years, the only entrance theme regularly used by Vince McMahon has been No Chance in Hell by WWE's own Jim Johnson. It was introduced for the 1999 Royal Rumble after McMahon informed Stone Cold Steve Austin that he had no chance in hell of winning the event. In the end, it was Vince himself who emerged victorious. Did we miss any of your favorite wrestler entrance themes? Let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to like, share this video. And for more wrestling lists and coverage, follow the Sportster on YouTube.